All right. Well, I guess they wanted us cut short today. So, good evening, guys. Welcome to this my mother's birthday edition of CPS Victims Hunting for Justice. I'm your host, CPS Punisher. You know, I'm getting more and more and more and more calls and more stories about people that have done nothing. And when I say they've done nothing, I mean nothing. And I know that there's so many out here that can relate to this story because all of us sit there and say, what the hell did we do to lose our kids? Like, what did we do so drastic and portray onto our kids that is so drastic that the government has decided that they need to sit in, take our kids, and never give them back? I mean, I don't see it. In my situation, it had nothing to do with my child. It had, my kid was nothing but loved, protected, safe, the whole nine. And a lot of these other cases that I'm hearing, it's the same thing. You know, maybe they got arrested at a concert for having some pot on them, and CPS comes in. Well, that had nothing to do with being a parent because you kicked off your shoes for a weekend at a concert, and all of a sudden you're losing your child because you relaxed and just took care of yourself. That's nothing about what took place with your kid. You come home, you're not smoking pot anymore, and you're taking care of your kids. That's it. We are adults in this country, and we've been given the right to do certain things, and we should take care of that. As parents, you deserve that right to go and relax on a weekend without your child. That's what it's for. It's why it's called vacation. So what CPS is doing is wrong. They're avoiding the whole question of, is the food at home adequate? Is the safety of the child adequate? Is the house adequate? Are their clothing adequate? Are they going to school? Are their medical needs met? They're not touching any of those things. They're actually attacking us on our actions that are on the external parts of being parents and us as personal people. And that's not what these rules are about. So tonight I introduce to you a guy that is hit these prongs, that has done nothing. He is a victim of CPS bias. He's a victim of, I don't even know what you want to call it, when people call on you for no reason. We'll figure out a name of that. And also backstage, we also still have, we got Herbert, the law enforcement guru, back there to make sure that he can answer any questions that we have. But I'm going to introduce you guys right now. We got Austin. Austin, how are we doing tonight, man?
Good.
So Austin, you are one of those people that have done nothing, and you are being punished for it. So why don't you go ahead and just give these guys a little bit of background, a little bit of your story, and let's see what we can come up with for you.
So this all started back in Benton County in Minnesota. Okay. And my mother had made a report on me saying that I was drinking. I destroyed the house. I destroyed my son's crib. I destroyed his toys, everything. And the cops showed up with CPS, and I mean a lot of cops, and they had me stand outside with law enforcement, and CPS went into the house alone.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the house was clean.
Right. So,
so
she just called on you because she was angry about a situation, or
no? My mother has done this my whole life. She's done stuff like this.
Oh man.
I mean, okay. She's been deemed like mentally not okay.
Okay.
She lives in Wisconsin, and she gets paid, checks for being on disability, and she's not okay up there.
Right. So she kicks out these wellness checks on you. That's what she does. She calls up and says you need a wellness check. How many of those would you say your mom has done on you since you're being a father?
Well, I mean, I've been out of the house since I was 15, and she's made reports on me ever since I moved out.
All right. I'm going to, you know what? Let's bring Herbert in here early. We're going to call him in early, and let's talk about this real quick. Herbert. Yeah. What do we do when people are overabundantly calling on, for instance, Austin's mom, who's constantly calling on him to do these wellness checks? Like, what is law enforcement's role in those, and how do those work?
Well, what I heard, Austin, your name is Austin, right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. What I heard Austin say is that your mom said that you trashed the place, you wrecked the crib or something like that. Did you trash the place? Did you wreck the crib?
Nope, they showed up right away, and the house was spotless, clean. Like I said, they piss tested me right on the spot. I was clean. Everything that she said was not proven.
Okay, so there was no damage to the house.
No,
Good. When the police took you outside, did you have any alcohol in your breath?
nope.
Okay. So then, when CPS came out, what did they say to you?
They told the cops. They went to the cops right away, and they said everything's fine.
Good.
All right.
So then everything's fine.
But what I'm questioning you is this: is what about? So he's been saying that his mom does this all the time. At what point did the police department put into play, like, go calm down on this guy? You know, if they get the call from the mother.
Well, because mom is an adult, let me ask you, have you had mom seen by a doctor?
She's been seen by a doctor herself and has been deemed mentally not stable.
Okay. And has the doctors talked to you about getting power of attorney or stuff like that?
No,
Well, if she's not mentally stable, do you think she's mentally stable of taking care of her finances and everything?
no.
Okay, then you should push to see her by neurologists. And if you could get 2 neurologists to agree that she's incapable of taking care of herself, then you can get the POA for her, whether she wants you to or not.
Okay. So that would be the way that he could distance himself, is someone doing something like that.
Yeah, but you got to get
Right.
mom to see a neurologist.
Right.
And it has to be.
Right. My question is based on, like, how does he protect himself from these false claims? Is more or less like, how does he go about this? How does he protect himself from that?
Can you stay away from mom? Is there any way, or you have to live with mom, or mom lives with you?
Or she's
No,
in another state.
Yeah, she lives out of state. I haven't had contact with her for almost 3 years now.
So mom is calling from out of state to the police in your state.
She
Correct.
calls CPS directly.
Okay, so then how many times has CPS showed up because of mom's calls?
About 3 times, 4 times.
So you need to speak to CPS and say, listen, you've come over here 3 or 4 times, everything's in order. Why do you keep responding to my mom who's not doing well? She's she's mentally declined.
So there's nothing though, but there's nothing that he can do immediately to stop the harassment from his mom. Would there be like a restraining order
can't
or one of those?
That's a good question in terms of restraining order for mom. That's a very good question. But right now, I'm thinking from the point of the person that's really harassing him is not his mom, it's CPS who's doing their job. Their job is to respond to any calls. Like me, my job is to respond to any kind of call.
Right. All right. Well, I just wanted to wonder, because we're hearing a lot of these things where these family members are calling, and we just, like, this is just where it ends up, So what happened next? What happened next? So CPS comes 3 or 4 times. When does it become real serious for you?
That last time that she called about the reports of me damaging the house and stuff, there's been an open case almost pretty much since then.
Okay.
And that's going on 3 years now.
Well, it shouldn't be open. I'm sorry for interjecting, but it shouldn't be open case if CPS comes and they see that you didn't trash the house.
Yeah, there's an open case still.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's unfounded.
Right.
CPS came to the house. They didn't see damage to the house. Therefore, the accusations is unfounded.
That's the way it's supposed to be. So what happened after they left your house that day? They said everything was good.
So after that, we had some more meetings with them. They were doing their investigation. And then about a month into that investigation, me and my girlfriend and my son moved to a different county. That county that we were in, transferred it to the other county. And they didn't take the case at that time, but my mom immediately made another report they didn't look into that one. Then my daughter was born, and now they're bringing up those reports that my mom had made.
Okay. All right. So now they're using your past against you.
Yep, the reports that she made that they had already looked into and said that wasn't true.
Yep.
And we have been dealing with them since. And they
did they substantiate you or unsubstantiate you or find you unfounded before or any of that stuff?
No.
Did you sign a safety plan or anything?
They tried to do one. We didn't sign it. We didn't agree to it.
Good man. But yet they still kept the case open. What are their grounds for keeping the case open with you?
Because I'm red flag. That's it. And then they won't, in court, they will not admit that they're using those reports that my mom had made. But
so what are you red flag from?
Because I went to prison for violence.
Okay. So you okay. So you did your time for violence.
Yes.
And that in and of itself is the red flag.
Yep.
So now if anybody calls, if I call on you, I don't even know where you live, but if I found out and I called on you and I said, oh my God, he's yelling at the kid in the house, there's something going on, they're going to respond because you're red flagged.
Yep.
It's not right, man. You do your time, you know.
Yeah. So I think that the real issue is the fact that you've been red flagged is why they're responding to everything your mom says. Every time your mom coughs, they respond.
But here's where it becomes concerning for me. I started looking up their policies and procedures.
Yep.
And the red flag simply means that they just have to come out here and make sure that there's no maltreatment and nothing wrong with the house, with the children, make sure they have food, a safe place to sleep. And then they don't even have to take it to court. They can just let it be that.
So they can go to you unfounded. They can go to you for pretty much no reason, is what you're saying.
For somebody that's red flagged, yes. But that only happens when a child is born. In my situation, is when they get notified.
Okay, so when this child was born, you immediately were red flagged into CPS. They came to the hospital and they said, this guy is red flagged. And they did what to the baby? Like, where are you at now as far as the children?
I have both of my children.
Okay,
I never
good.
lost either one of them.
Okay, good. But they're still harassing the hell out of you.
Oh yeah, we're still in court.
What do they say?
What? Good.
Yeah, go ahead, Herbert.
Okay. What are you in court for?
I don't know.
You got to find out why you're in court. You've already served your time. You served your time. You're out. You have children. CPS has not taken your children. And I understand the red flag part, but why are you in court? Who's bringing you in court for what reason?
CPS, the Iceni County Health and Human Services, is the one that filed the petition to terminate my parental rights. But I have since filed an appeal with the Court of Appeals, and then there's an appeals division with CPS, and I had my court hearing with their division, and the judge that we had for that case said that she received an email from the CPS supervisor, and in that email says that there's no safety concerns, there's no maltreatment, and no preponderance of evidence. That judge herself said she was confused at what's going on. And
I can understand that.
Right.
And I don't know.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm lost myself, and we've been battling them nonstop. And the best part is I communicate with the CPS supervisor in a different county. And she's one of my lifelines, surprisingly, on how to deal with this. And she said the only thing you can do is continue to ask them why they're involved.
Right.
keep asking that and record it. That's what she told us to do. Keep asking them. And we do that every visit. And they have not provided us a reason.
Can you go to the CPS office itself?
I wouldn't necessarily want to go there, only because I've filed complaints against the supervisor and the administrator, and I mean,
what kind of filing did you do?
I filed the complaint with the Board of Social Work.
Good man.
And
yeah, but what was the complaint? What was your complaint?
Oh, that she had told me that if I don't cooperate with them, that they will remove my children.
Right. They cannot do that. They cannot hold you.
What do they want you to do? How do they want you to cooperate?
They want me to put my child, he's almost 3, he's not quite 3. They want me to put him into an early school program. I don't want him going to a public school.
Okay, now we getting down to some other stuff here. So now it's really now about the school. You wanting or not wanting to put your kid in the school. So what do you want to do? You want to home teach, home train?
Yeah, but the where that issue becomes a problem is he's not even old enough to go into school yet.
Right.
So he's preschool.
Right. So this shouldn't even be a topic of issue. They're reaching because they, like I said in the intro, they have those bars that they got adequate medical care, adequate clothing, adequate schooling, adequate food, adequate shelter. Those are their 5 things that they come around on. So they can't get you on the other ones, but they're going to try to hammer you on the schooling now. And we all know that they come around on people for the homeschooling. They try to do that all the time because outside of homeschooling, and I don't want to sound like a tinfoil hat guy, but you don't have homeschooling, you don't have control of vaccinations and all of that stuff either. So that's their way of trying to get control of the child. It's not right. If you want to homeschool your kid, then you should be able to homeschool your kid. That's your right. That's your constitutional right to be able to, or not your constitutional right, but it is your right to raise your child how you feel fit. It says that right in all of our freedom documents. So they have no reason to be attacking you for that matter, especially one, like you said, your kid's not of the age that they shouldn't be worrying about school. And 2, you guys are saying as parents, we got this.
Yep.
What school do they suggest your 3-year-old child go to?
It's a program called Help Me Grow or Early Education
like a head start.
Or something.
It's like a preschool. It's like a preschool. It's a preschool.
Yep.
A preschool.
Yeah, but like I said, the concern is he's not old enough to go into this program.
Right. Exactly.
Is your child on a spectrum or anything?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that, man. They have no bearing in what they say. They should not be. They are infringing on your rights as an American now, telling you that you have to do something with your child. And if they don't, then you're going to take your kid. That's what do they call that? Not coercion, but extortion. I mean, they're threatening you. Right. They're threatening the fact that if you don't listen to us, we're taking your kid. You have no contract with them. You have no safety plan. You have no any other ties with them. So I don't understand why this is even sticking and why this is even keep going into the courtrooms. Like, why are they even allowing this in the courts to go through?
Again, it circles back to I've slowly been picking this county apart. And I Googled our judge's name, and this not much popped up when I just put her name in, but when I added the word corruption at the end of her name, a story pops up.
Right.
It's right on Google. And you read this story, when she was a county attorney, she wasn't charging people with crime. She was letting it just sit there. She wasn't looking into it. She wasn't charging this. And a lot of it was she was letting sex offenders go. She wasn't charging.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
It was just sitting there in her office.
Mm-hmm. Let the pedophiles go. Yep.
What state do you live in?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Have you called the family preservation guy? Or what's his? I'm going to think of his name here real quick. But I believe that they're from Minnesota. He's from Minnesota. I know he is. And he's gotten a lot of laws and everything changed out there in Minnesota from the child. Let me get his name for you. Hold on 1 second. Let me look here. They're a great group from Minnesota, man, and they might be able to assist you in this because this is what their deal is. The Family Preservation Society. Give me 1 second, I'll find it. But how many times have you gone to court with CPS about this? Austin. We lost Austin.
Oh.
No, we got him. I can hear him.
Hello, Austin.
There he is. Austin's back. Houston, we got Austin. Austin, we can hear you, Austin. There you are. Austin, can you hear us?
What's going on?
Oh, it's them. They did it to our phones again. Herbert, they're cutting us out. They don't want us talking the truth.
So act like Austin can hear you and tell the program and come back in again.
Yeah, try to sign up and fire back in with us there, pal.
I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, Austin, we can hear you.
Austin. He'll come back to us. He'll get back. He's a smart dude. He'll figure it out. Let's put him out on the side and pops up there. Let's do that. Herbert, what do you think so far, my man? Till Austin comes back with us, what do you think?
Okay. So Austin's not on with us, right?
No, he's not here. No, he's not with us right yet. No.
He's not with us, right?
No, he's not with us right now.
Okay. As I listen to Austin, and we're not on the show, right?
No, we're on the show. Show is live.
Okay.
So
as I'm listening to Austin, I knew there was more to the story because his mother's calling. It's unfounded. CPS comes. It's unfounded. Now they want him to go to court. Court for what? Everything's unfounded.
Right.
Now comes the school thing.
Yep.
What I think we should check on is Minnesota about when is a child supposed to be in a preschool? Is it required in that state of Minnesota that a child has to be in preschool?
Right. That's a great question. That is.
See, that's what I would like to know. Because if it's a requirement that a child has to be in preschool, unless the parent signs some kind of waiver saying that they're going to keep the child home,
right,
then that might be why they're harassing him.
So we're going to do that right now real quick. I'm going to step over here. We're going to do that while we wait for Austin. All right. Let's see here.
Can you look up Minnesota requirements for school?
I am looking that up right now. I'm grabbing my phone, also telling Austin to sign back in here. You know what? But this is still, if this is what they're basing their investigation on, Herbert, this is tiddlywinks in comparison to what some people are doing.
Right.
You know?
It's tiddlywinks, but he does have a red flag. But he doesn't realize he's fortunate that they haven't put a court order to take his children.
Right. Exactly. He is very.
He still has his kids.
And that's surprising too, that they're trying to take his rights away, and he still has his kids. So he's not of imminent danger to them, obviously.
No, not at all. If he still has it, because they'll come with that court order, and they're coming to take the child.
Yep. So that's good. I mean, clearly he or his girlfriend have not tried to do anything. They're not guilty of doing anything wrong, except for be good parents and want to monitor their kids. I mean, that's the only thing I could see there. All right, I just got through to him there. So let's see here. Minnesota. We're going to look up Minnesota. All right, here he's trying to come back in here. Let me see. While we wait for him to come back in, let's see. Austin, can you hear us? Austin, can you hear us? We can hear something in your background. I guess not here. Oh, this is going to be a shame. Well, let's take a look at Minnesota. What do we look under? Minnesota. Oh, also, we had right here in the chat, Herbert, we have Kenneth Alt. Kenneth Alt, we see you all the time, man. We appreciate you watching us. Kenneth wants to know about where you can find active state statutes. That's a great question. There's a website called the Children's Gateway, the Child Information Gateway. All right, Austin's coming back here. Let me get that link for you, Kenneth, and I'll get it up here so that you can get some information yourself. But I want to thank you so much, man, for being on the show, watching us. You're an awesome dude. And if you ever want to get on the show, go ahead and get in touch with us. You can email me at me and Herbert at info@abolishcps.com, or you can get a hold of us on abolishcps.com on the website there. So please do that. And I know that you got questions. So if you want to get on the show with us, please go ahead and get in touch with us that way, my man. But now, as far as the Minnesota School Department, what am I coming up with here? What am I coming up with? Minnesota age. Alexa, what is the age for a child in Minnesota to be lawfully in school?
From findlaw.com. The state of Minnesota requires children between the ages of 7 and 16 to attend school or receive an equivalent education through homeschooling.
Okay, Alexa, in the state of Minnesota, when does a child of young years have to go to school?
In Minnesota, all children must start attending school by the age of 7.
Okay, Minnesota state law is age of 7.
Okay, now ask Alexa, is there a requirement for a 3-year-old to be in school? Is
Alexa,
there a requirement?
Is there a requirement for a 3-year-old child
I'm
to be
having
in
trouble
school?
hearing. Can you say that again?
Alexa, is there a requirement for a 3-year-old child to be in school?
In most countries, 3-year-old children are not required to be in school. However, it is common for them to start attending preschool around their 3rd birthday.
Okay, so it's not required. Instead, it's just common.
Okay.
So just
Now,
common
could
isn't
you
enough.
ask your viewers to hone in and chat, send you a chat on that, because they could do research on Minnesota in terms of requirements for preschool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you guys heard Herbert. That's a great thing, Herbert. If you guys are out there and you can hear us, if you can find some information for us and put it in the chat right here, we'll throw the chat up right there. Boom, there you go. This will be live right here while you guys are watching. And let us know what you guys think or what you know for facts, please. That'd be great. Let's try Austin again. Maybe Austin, can you hear us? We can hear Austin's music. Now we've lost Austin.
Do you have Austin's phone number?
I do have Austin. Here he comes back again. Let's see. Come on, Austin. Austin. We got no dice. You know what? I'm going to try to call him here. No Austin. All right, let's see if we can call him here.
Call him and tell him to go completely out and come back in again.
Or maybe I can just get him to talk on the phone.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Austin. Hey, my man. Yeah, we're losing you here. But let me see if I can get you, maybe if you mind. Did you try to re-sign in? And it keeps coming in. Right? Now, let me see if we can get you on maybe we can just do this over the phone like this. So let me see because we can hear you on that side. Can you hear us? Yeah. You can't, you can see us, but you can't hear us. Okay. Hold on one second. You want to just do like a test? I'm going to put you on speaker and let's see if we can get you on the microphone here. Hold on one second. All right. Austin, go ahead and talk. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hello?
Do you
Hi,
hear
Austin. Yeah, I can hear him.
All right. So you can hear us now, right?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So let's try to do
Darren,
this.
tell Austin what you did and found out about 7 years old.
Yeah. So Austin, we looked it up. We looked up what Minnesota state laws are as far as children going to school. And the age by law in Minnesota is 7 years old. Now, the recommendation, or it's not unusual for kids to go to school by their 3rd birthday, but the law states it's the age of 7.
Wow.
So they have no right to keep pushing you around like this, saying that it's required that your child get into school. So I don't know if you want to take that and use that and put it in your court records. How are you guys represented?
So that's a funny situation too. My girlfriend has a lawyer, or court-appointed one.
Yeah.
And I represent myself.
Okay.
But this same lawyer speaks on both of our behalf in court. So I'm not allowed to talk, but she talks for both of us.
Okay.
So what? Let me understand this now. Why does your girlfriend have an attorney?
Because they filed the TPR on her as well.
So her girlfriend's, we're going to have her girlfriend on at a separate time. She was just working tonight. So she's involved with this also, as the mom, obviously.
Just for being with me.
So because you were...
Okay.
So, yeah, that's funny because my wife lost her rights for associating with me too. So I feel your pain on that one. And that sucks to be, because what they do, Herbert, is they say that you're not willing to take your child out of danger. However, there's no danger here. I mean,
exactly.
When have they ever found any danger?
They didn't, and they say that in court. They've said that. I have a paper that says that there's nothing wrong.
This is crazy. So you have it from the CPS, but that's the old CPS, right? Or the new one?
This is the county that we're dealing with.
Okay. And they've said that. What is the court, what's the hearing called that you're going after?
Where we're at right now, it's I don't know how to say it exactly, intermediate disposition hearing.
Okay, intermediate disposition. I'm going to take a look at that, see what the heck that is in your state, what they...
While he's looking that up, Austin, is this going to be the first time you're going to court in a new location you're living?
No, we've been to court with this county 7 times, 8 times.
Oh my God. So when you went there time number 3, what were they saying?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So
you said you've been there 7 or 8 times. So when you were there the 3rd time, what were they saying to you?
The 3rd time. I'm trying to see what the third.
Every time, is it something different or is it the same thing every time you go?
Well, our first one was the admit deny. That one was pretty basic. And then we had our pre-trial. And then trial was our 3rd court hearing.
And then you had a 4th one, you said.
The 4th one was a disposition hearing.
Well, they're really dragging us out.
They're getting money from it.
And in our trial, everybody went on the stand and said that there was no safety concerns, blah, blah, blah. And then they had tried bringing up the reports that my mom made. Well, the lawyer that we have, or my girlfriend has, that lawyer said, why didn't you guys take that report then and keep the investigation going if they were worried about it? Because that was the county that dismissed it. And they didn't have anything to say.
What I don't understand is why they keep bringing up this other county when it's this new county and new... Oh, because they're the ones that passed it over the jurisdiction.
Yeah,
yep,
I
we're in that one county, and now we're in this county dealing with them.
And the only reason that this county's there is because the other county contacted them, because you moved.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Well, I must say, when you were off the phone, I was telling Darren, you're very fortunate, because if they wanted your child, that child would have been gone months ago.
Yeah, you've done something right to stop them or something. Because how they're terminating, this is the other question is, how are they even talking about terminating your parental rights when your kids are still standing right next to you? This makes no sense.
I don't understand. I don't know what's going on.
Like, it makes no sense that Are you ordered to do drug tests?
Nope.
Is your girlfriend?
Nope.
Your girlfriend's only playing all of this is because you and her are together, right? She's not clearing jeopardy because she's associated with you, right?
Yep. She's only involved because of me. Yep.
Yep. Just like they did with my wife. The same thing.
Okay.
And for you, we have no involvement other than the fact that you're a good dad and you want your kids. And it was a phone call put in by a woman that is, I guess, by medical conditions, unable to make decisions. I mean, I don't want to say crazy, but I mean, she's not right in the head, so she's harassing you constantly. And CPS is using these harassing phone calls against you when they were founded. See, this is just like this circle of nonsense, but obviously they have their mucks into something that they want to have from you. I mean, there's obviously a reason, whether it's penalizing you because you have that red flag, whether it's someone did something, you know, I mean, this is just absolutely absurd. Let me, what was that? What was that again? Intermediate. What was that?
Intermediate disposition hearing.
Okay. Intermediate disposition. I mean, have you thought about filing paperwork for harassment and asking them to an order of protection against them?
No, I don't know how to do that kind of stuff.
I mean, because it seems to me, right, Herbert? Like, this is harassment at its finest.
Yeah, but from what you guys have taught me, it's really CPS. It's not the court. CPS is bringing this to the court, so he's got to try to communicate with CPS. Have you pissed them off, CPS?
Have I made CPS mad? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that starts it right there. So you just open up a beehive with them. So what I'm trying to say, the court is not coming after you. It's CPS that's using the court to come after you.
Right. But they're all one and one. This judge has already said he's not dangerous. Why is this judge even allowing more hearings to come through?
What? I don't. It's not making sense to me. Everything's clean. Everything's good. They don't think it's that bad that they will take your children away, because they would have done it. It would have happened.
Right. That's the thing. There's no imminent danger for them to be able to do this. The only time they can take your child is if there's an imminent danger situation. But here's the other thing. You still have the children. So how can they even be basing on terminating your parental rights? This just doesn't. Somewhere someone is trying to do something. That's for sure, because this is crazy.
It's not making sense.
It is a crazy story, and I don't understand what is going on. I have recordings of them saying that there's no safety concerns. I have a letter from them saying that, like it was said in trial. It's been said multiple times. In our last court date, the judge said that she's going to keep the case open because of me not cooperating with CPS, and that's why it's been extended again to March 4th.
But you don't have to cooperate with them.
That's what I told them. You show me the law that says I have to cooperate with you guys.
Okay, well, let's just go there for a second. Other than the child going to school, what else do they say you're not cooperating with?
So the next thing would be a public health nurse. That's the two things they want us to do.
What's the?
They want your child to go see a nurse.
The public health nurse is somebody that just comes to your home to check on the kids. It's CPS.
It's them.
Okay.
It's them. So,
and you have opposition to the nurse coming to your house, or you going to the nurse.
Yeah, I don't want them coming here. That's CPS. That's still them.
Right.
So, now let me ask you this though. They wanna. Has anybody from CPS seen the children?
Yeah, I just had a phone visit with them today. I showed them 2 children, and then we hung up.
No. Has they physically seen the children?
Yeah, they've been to my house.
Okay. And they saw the children?
They've seen them.
Okay.
So they know they're healthy. They know they're fine. Everything's in line. They've done nothing wrong. He's obviously blatantly said that he's done his time for the crime that he's committed. So as far as I'm concerned, and so should society be, you did your crime, you do the time, and then you're done with it, right? You've paid your penalty, so move on, because that's just bunk anyway. That they can still hold this against him. I mean, that's what we have jail sentences for, right? Is to do your time and then you walk away. That shouldn't be held against him anyway. He's paid what society's penalty was, so that's that.
But if they wanted to hold something against him, they would have taken the children. They haven't taken the children.
No, they're trying, but that's what will happen when he goes to that TPR hearing. I'm pulling up right now what the permanency timeline is. I got it right here. This will just open for me.
I don't know what grounds they would want to take the children, since the children are fine, the house is fine, everything is in order. Why would they want to take the children?
Because I had said that there's the 5 prongs. You have food, clothing, shelter, school, health.
He has all that. He has that. And the kid doesn't have to be in school. He's 3 years old.
Right. And then the health do your kids go to a doctor already? Do they have their own doctor and physician?
Yeah, they go to a doctor.
Yeah.
And they also go to WIC. They have to go to WIC meetings.
Okay. So if they have the WIC meeting stuff, then they should already have their information, because WIC is funded by them.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
When you shared this with your girlfriend's attorney, what does he have to say?
Her attorney, I believe, works with the county as well. And why do I say that? Because we asked her to help us with the appeal, and she said she's not willing to do that. We have asked her.
No, but you shared you're sharing the story with us.
Not willing to do that. This is all on email.
Okay, you shared the story with us. Okay, how about your wife, since that's your wife's attorney, share the story with her attorney to see what she thinks and what she feels. She doesn't have to represent you.
Attorney doesn't want to hear any of it.
Oh, she doesn't want to hear it?
No.
Oh, no, these public pretenders are crazy, man. They'll only hear what they want to hear. They're only going to give to them what they want to hear. It's insane. And the reason, I will tell you this firsthand, that the only people that win these cases, and this is a fact, you can look it up, don't question me about this, but I will tell you can go to fact check. There's a better percentage of winning in these cases if you defend yourself than if you go with a public pretender. And that is a fact. The people that win these cases are people that go there on their own accord, and they fight them with the laws at hand verbatim, because you know what? These public pretenders are going in there and they're only fighting for their own cause to get their bonuses that are attached to what they get for adopting these kids. And that's a fact. They all go to Christmas dinner together. They all spend Christmas together. It's a conundrum how they're all tied together. It's a circus. It is, why is it that you can only go to their counselors? Why can you only get piss test by their people? Why can you only get a lawyer that's their stuff? You go ahead and try to fire your public pretender and the courts refuse it.
That's what they've done with us.
They refuse it. And how is that? Why is that so?
I don't know.
No, well, I mean, that's the superficial question. It is because the fact is they're making sure that they get that child legally, obtain it properly, so that you can't fight it in an appeal. That's it. Because you can talk over and over to all these people that get represented by public pretenders, and every one of them, either they're not telling the whole story, they're not putting in facts that you think are pertinent. They'll tell you that you're underestimating, or you're not understanding the law the way that it's written, and it's this, that, and this. Come on. It doesn't get much clear. Why is there so many? 12% of these kids, once they get taken, are returned home. 12%. That means there's either a shitload of awful lawyers out there that aren't being able to win these cases, or it means that they're in bed with these guys. I mean, that's the only. How is it that there's a 12% chance that you get your kids back, and CPS is wrong 86% of the time? We got a problem here. We have a bigger problem than what is just at hand here. There is a conspiracy brewing, and people need to start realizing this, and we need to start picking it apart and finding this. This poor dude has done nothing. His kid by law isn't supposed to go to school. Short of him lying to us, there is no problem. His kids go to health. They have their own doctors. They're clear. You don't have to go. There's no rule. He doesn't even have a contract with them. There's no safety plan. There's no nothing. But yet they're still hauling him into that courtroom. What happens if he doesn't go to one of these court dates, though? Probably going to be arrested or something like that, right? That is corruption, corruption, corruption. I mean, if short of him telling us that he's just full of malarkey, and there's a lot of other reasonings, which I don't see why he would be on the show with us telling us that. Like, this is it in a nutshell, man. This is them. They got their mucks into someone, and they're not going to let go.
Well, I took my skin out of the game because I don't hear anything on my end. In other words, from a criminal point of view, that anything's wrong.
Right. So this is the thing, Herbert. This is like all the time with these people. So what do we do? You know, if you were with law enforcement and you heard this lady calling your police department 27 times, not saying that that's the number, but if she called 27 times, isn't there a point where you're going to say, like, okay, guys, when Mrs. So-and-so calls, let's just put this one to the side? Or are you obligated to answer every call?
No, we're obligated to go to the call.
All right. That stinks. That's like CPS. So that makes it too, just like CPS. The only thing that CPS is by law supposed to do in any of these cases, in Malibu, Dallas, my good buddy taught me this. The only thing that CPS has to do is go to a call that they answer. And that's it. That's the only ones. That's the only move that they have to make, is to go and make sure that the children are safe.
The word that you were looking for before with his mom is referred to as cognitive decline. And I'm not a doctor, but I just know that because I ran into situations where we're being around people. They're not like full-blown Alzheimer's or full-blown something along those lines, but they're on a decline. Once they have something in their head, like in her head, her son is messing up with her grandchildren.
Right.
Speaking about grandchildren, does your mom ever get an opportunity to see the grandchildren?
No.
Has your mother ever asked to see your grandchildren?
Oh, I'm sorry, I might not have heard that. My mother has seen my children. She has been around them. Well, my son. She hasn't met my newest.
Okay. Yeah. Has all this started after the newest or before the newest?
This started when my son was a few months old.
Oh.
He's almost 3.
Okay. So this has been going on with her for a while.
Yep.
And what kind of demands do you want to share with us does she have on you that you feel she's after you?
My mom's been after me my whole life. I mean, I believe she has what do you call that?
Cognitive decline?
She's always trying to like get me into trouble and then try to be the hero afterwards. Like,
oh, okay. What do they call that? That is a
Munchausen syndrome.
What is it?
Munchausen syndrome.
Munchausen syndrome. That's like the 4th time this week that I've heard this. So she comes through, tries to be the hero. I mean, she gets you in trouble and then comes through and rescues you at the end, or tries to.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And this has been going on seriously my whole life.
Now I know why they don't do it, because they have to, but don't you think there should be a cap on the number of calls someone has on them that they get these investigations? Like, is there something like that in the law enforcement, Herbert, where like, Darren calls every other day, so we're going to investigate his calls, or 5 calls, that's enough for us to be responding to, or there's too many calls or whatever? Is there something like that?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that, only because children are involved. Right. Grandma is calling about the grandchildren. It's kind of hard pressed not to go make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, no, I agreed with that.
It's kind of hard pressed.
It's just unfortunate that he's got to
I
go
wanna-
through all this harassment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Falsely reporting. I want to go with falsely reporting a crime, but there was no crime. Falsely reporting an incident, which is a crime. Falsely reporting something, that in and of itself is a crime. Falsely reporting something, but it's you're Minnesota, right? So I could check on that. Get back to Darren with some information because I could speak to Minnesota.
Yeah, we'll get Herbert. The man, he gets things done too. He gets answers where most can't get answers. That's for sure. I mean, maybe Herbert can come up with something really good for you.
I could speak to Minnesota PD and I could find out what the heck that's all about. Not you, nothing to do with you personally. Just like a hypothetical situation I hit him with, and I asked him like, how often do we roll to that person's house, just because somebody in another state that says it.
Is this still going on? Does those things still happen?
With my mother calling?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, the last report she made was in December.
Okay.
Oh,
and we never heard about it. They didn't look into it. They didn't say anything about it. Nothing. So.
Okay.
Okay. I was under the impression this is an ongoing thing.
Well, I mean, December's just behind the back of us here, you know.
Yeah, but she didn't call in January, and we haven't heard from her in February.
Because she's got the investigation, I'm assuming.
Could be that, but
right. So
she doesn't have an investigation. The court has. She's not involved with the investigation. Am I correct?
No, they keep up what she says.
No, but she's not involved with the investigation.
She's not involved with any of the court hearings or anything. Like, she's never been involved with them.
Yeah. So she's not a witness.
No.
All right.
She's just the caller.
Yeah. They may have stopped responding. They may have stopped. She may have been calling as recently as 2 days ago, and they're not responding.
And maybe it's because that they're still involved, and like we just had a visit with them, and so she's still making these reports, and they're seeing us. Well, I don't know.
But they're using
now, right? Do you know if mom is calling CPS?
What was that?
Is your mom calling CPS?
I don't know if she still is, but yes, she has many times.
Okay. And then CPS came out and did a wellness check, right?
Yes, and that's where this case is based off of now.
Okay, I got the thing here for you guys. All right, here we go. Ready? This is the Minnesota. Actually, you know what? I can't share the screen. I was going to share the screen here. Sorry, but this is what it says right here for where you're at in your hearings. Let's see. So in Minnesota, it breaks down like this. It goes the emergency protective hearing. Then there's a admit and deny hearing. There's a pretrial hearing. There's a court trial. There's an adjudication hearing. Then there's a disposition hearing. Then there is the intermediate disposition review hearing, which is when a child is in foster care or care of a non-custodial parent held at least every 90 days, when a child in trial home visit held at least every 90 days, when a child under protective supervision of a parent from whom removed held at least every 6 months, and when a child, and then best practice is to hold them more frequently. So that's where you're at. Let me, you know what, I'm going to send this to you so you have this. So there's, that's where you're at with them. Court trial. Wow. So, I mean, I guess the way that looks is that they could be open with you for quite some time. I mean, that's crazy. Do they give you a date when they say that the TPR hearing is to be held?
No, we are scheduled for another disposition hearing for March 4th.
Okay, so that must be the intermediate disposition review hearing. right?
On my end, it just says intermediate disposition hearing.
Right. No, I got you. Right. Because there's the disposition hearing, then there's the intermediate disposition review hearing. Wow, there's a lot here when this goes on. So the next one after that, if just going in order, is permanency progress review. And that's when a child in foster care or care of non-custodial parent held not later than 180 days after court-ordered placement, only one PPRH per case, and not held in TPR or permanency proceedings. That's the next spot that. So
he doesn't fall in that category because his child is not in placement.
Right. So again, here they are bringing him to a hearing that he doesn't belong in.
No.
Wow, this is crazy.
Absolutely. Maybe when you go, that will be it. This might be, if we go to court, this might be the end of it.
On February 9th, I got a letter from, how's it go? There's the CPS supervisor, and then the one right above her. I can't think of what that would be.
Director,
anyway, she sent me.
Is she a director or something?
Yes, the director.
Yeah.
She sent me an email and a letter. I got it in the mail. And it says, we are considering dismissing this case, but we cannot do that until the Court of Appeals are out of the way.
Oh, my God. But what is it that you're appealing?
This is where I was working with Malibu and someone else.
Jets? Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are trying to appeal the decisions that they've made already. I got it. Yeah,
basically just looking at the whole case and being like, what the hell is going on?
Right, yep. That makes sense.
And the Court of Appeals didn't want to hear it because it wasn't a final order.
Got it.
But we were arguing that if we wait until the final order, that final order could be removal of my children for no reason. And then we have to go through an appeal to try to get my kids back. And it would just make no sense to wait until...
I'm not hearing any reason for removing your children.
I know they have no reason to remove them, but
I can't hear where they're making something up to remove your children when they're saying everything is fine. And when the director even said, she sounds like she's on your side to, not push anything.
Well, I think it's because I've been fighting back with the help of Malibu and Jess. Then all of a sudden, now they want to dismiss it. But before then, they didn't. They said they got substantial evidence.
But where is it?
That's what I'm saying. Right. We went to trial, and everyone said that there's nothing wrong. And here's my other concern about their trial process. And I told them this right from the beginning. If we go to trial, I'm going to lose no matter what. And they were like, why would you lose? I said, well, because there's no jury. There's nobody else. It's literally just CPS and a judge.
Well, you can request a jury trial.
I wasn't given that option.
You have a constitutional right to have a jury trial.
Well, I guess that's where they get us.
I know that a lot of states say that they don't offer it, but you can ask and request one if they're, and I'm pretty sure that they have to grant you that. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take me on that one. But I know that we've heard many times through my years of doing this that if you request a jury trial, they have to come forth and adhere to that because that's constitutional right. But Minnesota may not offer that. But something tells me that I just heard something about Minnesota also with that, because I thought that they got. Let me get you the information here too. Writing my list of information to send you here, Austin. I'm going to send you the Children's Justice Initiative. And I'm going to send you the some information about another guy. But I mean, overall, here we go. We got another night of no answers, really. I mean, what is the resolve here? And the resolve is leave these people alone, right? Stop harassing them. That's it. And that's all that's happening to this poor guy and his wife. Short of him not telling us the truth, man, he's done nothing. And CPS is just sucking them in, threatening to take their kid. That's no good to live your life like that, worrying every day that your kids are going to be taken. The stress that you're under for that is just immense, and it's disgusting that some government agency in our country would sit there and put the American people up to that bar and hold them to it for months at a time. Something has to be done. Something has to be done.
I know my story sounds crazy and it like maybe doesn't make sense, but like I have everything to back it up. I have emails, text messages, recordings, court documents. I'm working on getting the transcripts because the things that were said in court are unreal. I have all of this to back it up, and like I said, I speak to a Ramsey County supervisor who dealt with us before and knows that we're good people, and that's why we talked to her.
Right.
And she was a good worker because like I had started mouthing off to her like I don't like CPS and blah blah blah, and she's like, hey, don't talk to me bad. I'm not one of them bad ones. Yeah. I'm one that will fight for you to keep your kids, and I don't like CPS either, and that's why she's in that field. She'll tell me that all the time.
Yep.
And she's also helping me fight this county, and she's the one that told me, get on that appeal, file that appeal. Always ask them why they're involved. Like, keep pushing it. Don't give up.
Oh, man, I hope to God that you're right. I hope that she is.
What's the bad mouthing that the courts are doing? You said something about bad mouthing.
No, him bad mouthing CPS is what she's saying.
No. It was something that the courts was doing to him.
Oh, yeah. Our last court hearing, the judge said she was going to keep the case open because of me not complying with CPS.
And the compliance with CPS was the 3-year-old not going to school and you not allowing a nurse to come in and see the kid.
Yep.
Was there anything else CPS demanded? Is there anything else CPS demanded of you?
Nope. Those are the two things they're not even in the court order. When you look at our court order, there's literally nothing. But those are the two things. And then we were arguing with the CPS supervisor, and then she's like, well, your 3-year-old, well, he's not quite 3, he's almost. And she's like, well, he doesn't talk, so we can stay involved for that reason.
Oh, wait. Let's go there for a second. I only know this from talking to many people, that a child at a certain age has to be able to say 20 words. Is your child able to say 20 or more different words?
No. I mean,
okay.
Maybe close.
Okay. I think that's what they're hanging their hat on. I've heard something about that before, that a child at a certain age, I remember if it's 2 years old, 2.5 years old, has to be able to speak 20 different words.
Look that up.
That's kind of insane. I mean, there's some children that I've seen at almost 5 years old that don't speak.
And it's definitely not a law. I'm stuck out here, guys. I'm just typing right here. That's this other key.
Okay. But I'm giving you something to look into. So speak to your pediatrician. You have a pediatric doctor, right?
Yep.
Okay. Make a phone call to the medical assistant, because you're not going to get the doctor. So make a phone call tomorrow to the medical assistant and say, is there an age requirement for my infant, my child, to have to speak a certain amount of words? Just ask that question. See, speak to pediatric, medical assistant, and just ask that question. Just say, I heard that a child has to be able to say 20 different words at a certain age. What is that age, and what's that requirement all about? Because CPS may be hanging their hat on that. That's why they want the nurse to go in there and try to see if that kid could speak those 20 different words. There's no specific words, just 20 different words. You can't keep saying mommy, daddy, mommy, dad. No. It has to say bathtub, floor, mat, washcloth. He has to say 20 different words.
I mean,
And that
we
kind of makes
understand
me.
him and his words.
No, that's not. No. It's not about you understand the words. It's about the 20 different words. I want you to inquire. I'm asking you to inquire about that in Minnesota. You do that. Yeah, you do that.
That way you can have something to call
because it's kind of clicking together now because they're pushing a nurse. See, they didn't push anybody in to make sure that you have enough bedrooms and that your toilet flushes and you have hot water. No, they're pushing to get a nurse in there to check on the child. So then I started thinking about. Then I thought about somebody telling me about the word thing. Then I put it together with somebody told me about these words that little children have to speak. Then I'm putting it together with them telling you, oh, you got to get this kid into a school. And I'm saying, gee, maybe they're talking about a speech therapy type school so the kid can speak the 20 different words so that it could qualify and pass with the nurse coming to the house. Now, I may be totally wrong with all this, but I'm just trying to put it all together.
Right, an angle. But here's the thing. Where does that make you a bad parent? Enough to terminate your right.
He's going to find that out when he speaks to his pediatric division. And then you're going to say, look, I got CPS on my butt, and my kid's not speaking 10 words or 15 yet. Is that why they might be on top of me? Your medical assistant would know because they know about all that stuff.
But then to me, it's like they're not here for the speech. They were here for a different reason.
Right.
And then not only that, but why are they now telling you that they will dismiss the case? Like, I don't know.
It's like
I'm just going back to the fact that they want a nurse to come in. That's what I was going to.
Right, but they're grasping at straws, clearly.
It sounds like it. Because he's the kids, like you said, that his situation passes the sniff test, the smell test, so to speak.
I mean, I'm at home alone with both of my children right now, by myself, watching both my children.
It's crazy.
And it's been like that since they've both been born. And
so
part of why I feel like they're involved is my girlfriend was a foster child in that county, and her foster parents live in that county. And in that county, she was sexually abused by her foster parents and went to court over this. And the gentleman, I guess I don't remember if he was charged or not, or if he beat the charge. But regardless, I went to court because of the sexual abuse that was going on with her foster parents in this county.
Right, so this could be lashed back from that.
I don't know, but like I don't. She was part of the foster system.
Right.
I don't see how, because this girlfriend is this the mother of your children?
Yep.
Okay, so the mother has children. She was a foster child herself. I don't see the relationship there. I don't see that where there would be an issue.
The system is the system. It feeds, it preys on each other. This is what we're finding a lot of. Anybody that was a foster child, CPS typically is banging down their doors at one point.
Yes, that's proven.
Yeah. So, well, guys, we are way past our time. Wow, I didn't even realize that. I thought we were only in for this. Hey, Austin, you got any last words?
No, I'm just going to keep speaking up about my case because it's a wild one. It makes no sense, but it makes sense. I will not stop speaking about it.
All right. Hey, I'm going to give you a shout out after the show, too. Are you cool with that? Or how about you can call me when you're available? How about that?
Yep.
All right, when you're free up, that'd be great. All right, Austin, thank you for coming on tonight, buddy.
Okay, Austin, I have a last word myself, Austin. My last word is tomorrow. I want you to call pediatrics and inquire about that 20-word thing. Just so we could dismiss that. Okay?
Yep.
Just dismiss it. Just so we could throw that out of the way to throw out why they want the nurse to come in there. You see, because that's the only thing I could think of.
Yep. I will get on that.
Good. Very good. Very good. That's all I want you to do. Just talk to your pediatric medical assistant and ask them about, you heard something about a child supposed to speak X amount of words by a certain age. What's the age and how many words? That's all you want to know.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay.
All right, Austin. You have a good night, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Nice meeting you, Austin.
All right. Well, there we had it, Herbert.
Okay.
Another one, another story in the books for us to say, look, what the hell's wrong here? And these people are just trying to get this kid.
There's something that I can't put my finger on. I mean, it was almost adding up when the school, the nurse, and I thought about, I asked him, how can his child speak 20 words or more? He said no. And I was like, okay.
Right.
I'm wondering if it has something to do with that.
But I guess
if he had said to me, are you kidding me? My kid can speak 50 different words. Then I would say, it's not that. It's not that. But when he said, no, my child can't speak 20 words, and he's 3 years old, that's when I immediately thought about what somebody told me about a kid speaking 20 words or more.
Right. It's just, but again, that goes back to, first of all, Minnesota law says they don't have to be educated in the education system until 7, so the kids shouldn't even know these words.
That's the education part. But the infant thing with speaking is totally different. Has nothing to do with school.
But
nothing to do with school.
Right, but I mean, we have the right to raise our children how we deem fit. That means that they're putting expectations on at every age that they're supposed to speed bump and be tested. You know what I mean? I get what you're saying. This is their way that they're prying themselves into the system. I mean, it's not saying it's right or wrong, but this is how they're doing it. They're working their way in by finding these party little things.
Yeah.
Which I don't see. What does that have to do with imminent danger? You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But
something.
All right, Herbert. I'll catch you on the flip side. Catch you tomorrow for another episode of this. I'm sure I'll talk to you later on.
Well, don't say that because I believe you.
I will. I promise you. I promise you I'll speak to you later on. All right?
Look, you know what? Why don't you talk to me after you look at some of those videos I sent you with the police involved? Because I really worked hard. I worked hard.
There are questions that I want for that. There are questions that I want to ask you about.
I literally worked hard at putting those videos together and focused mostly on the ones with police. Not the ones without police, but the ones with police.
Right. I have a question about the one with the head of CPS. So I'll call you right after this.
All right. Take care.
All right, Herbert.
All right.
All right, everybody. There it was. You heard it. Another story of people that aren't really breaking the law. Look, education is important. Sure it is. But there are kids that are slow learners. There are kids that, that just don't grasp it yet. That has nothing to do with the danger of your child. That has nothing to do with your child being in harm's way. That has nothing to do with anything but them trying to pry and get their way into your family, into your life, and get that money from the fundings. That's what we all forget, that all boils down to them being able to collect a check from Title IV funding. And that's what's happening, and it's not right. It needs to be stopped, and that's what we're aiming to do, guys. That's what we're trying to get done, and that's going to be our quest for all that until we do get it done. As far as anything else goes, check it out on the this side of me here, my left, right, whatever side. The side with the guy that looks good in the red hat. Those are the hats that you can get at abolishcps.com. They're Make Parenting Great Again hats. It says Stop CPS Corruption. I can't zoom in on it, but all you gotta do is click this little QR code. It'll bring you right to Abolish CPS, where you can get one of those hats to show your support for stopping CPS corruption and what's going on. That's it. And hey, Kenneth Alt, get in touch with us, man, so we can get you on here and we can hear your story, because I know you got a lot to say. Everybody else, I'm CPS Punisher. Keep CPS out of your house. Have a good night.